You know that guy in your pickup basketball group? The one who got a minor injury one time and then you never saw him again? Don't be that guy. You and we want to get strong for life, not just for a summer, not just for the short term. We want to be making long term commitments, okay? So I want to share with you an example from my life today where I was able to pivot without quitting. So yesterday morning, I woke up with a weird pain in my left elbow. Basically, it was fine in most positions, but I noticed when I straightened the arm, I couldn't really supinate it. When I got to roughly this position, I would feel like a shooting pain up through my elbow that sort of spread throughout the whole of my arm. And it was a bit disconcerting. I was a little bit alarmed by this because I couldn't think of any acute injury that might have caused it. I hadn't noticed the pain ever before in my life, and in the previous couple days, I hadn't done anything out of the normal. So I did my due diligence and went to go see a physio this morning. He thinks ultimately I might just have some extreme tightness in my brachioradialis, which causes my radius, one of the bones in the elbow, to be pulled slightly out of alignment, which then causes it to do a little bit of clicking and maybe pinching the nerve when I supinate. So I really love my physio because he always gives me rehab that actually works, which is to say, not just total rest, but actively working towards a solution while I don't put the rest of my life on hold. So my perspective on rehab is all about avoiding acute stress and extra load to the injured area, but continuing to do general movement and activity. Because if we only rest, then we're not actually moving the injured area. And movement drives blood flow and drives the lymphatic system, which is going to help us to actually bring nutrients to the injured area to help it heal. So I really want to continue to keep moving and utilizing the injured area, but just in range of motions that don't cause pain and with loads that are manageable and safe for me. And my physio also understands my mindset, which is an absolutely crucial part of living a fit lifestyle. I want to keep moving and playing and progressing. I don't want to take a month off. It's really important to me to maintain my habits and to continue making progress in some way. So, entirely quitting my practice, even just for a few weeks, is out of the question. Instead, we pivot. So, a few hours later, here I am completing my normally planned workout, but with a couple important tweaks. I'm pivoting to accommodate my injury, but I'm not quitting. So my normal pulling for the day would involve both chin-ups and bicep curls, but that level of supination is just not going to be there for me, so I'll have to scrap those. Instead, I realized that if I keep my elbow neutral and really try to load my back, that doesn't feel too bad. So working on this one arm cable pull down is a great substitute for my pulling exercise. I'm able to do this and put a lot of load into my lats and back, and I don't really feel it in my arm at all, and my elbow feels totally fine during the exercise. So that one is a go. For pushing, ordinarily I'd be doing weighted ring dips today, but the instability of the rings in this position is something I'm not willing to risk. However, when I keep my arms pronated, it doesn't seem to be a problem at all, so I'm able to still practice overhead press and incline bench press. And so that's it. I limited myself to just 3 compound exercises, but ones that feel really, really safe for me today that work on the same general attributes that I'm trying to train right now. Of course, for each of these exercises, I'm warming up with very light weights just to make sure that the movement pattern truly is pain-free. But once I realize that they are, I don't have to hold back. I hit each of these 3 exercises for a few working sets, taking the last one on each exercise to failure, and that was it. Simple, effective, and really fun. Now, is this workout optimal? No, probably not. But of course, there's no such thing as optimal. And for me, given my circumstances today, it's pretty damn good, and I'm very stoked to have completed it. And after the session, my elbow felt a little bit better and my mobility had improved a tiny bit, so I could work on the actual rehab exercises, which of course are a bit lighter and more specific. So now I'll leave you with 2 takeaways that you can apply to your own training. The first is that if you're injured, again, don't quit, just pivot. The benefits of practicing a wide variety of exercises and having at least a cursory understanding of basic programming principles really show themselves when you get injured and suddenly can't complete the workout that you had planned. With just a little bit of creativity, you'll be able to find a set of exercises that can keep you taking an alternate path towards your goal so that you don't lose progress and general strength while you recover. The last thing you want to do is take a 2-week break and then all of a sudden 2 months later, your fitness habit is just a distant memory. Just do the best you can in your current circumstances, keep that habit ticking along, and you'll be back to it in no time. The second takeaway is don't put all of your eggs into one basket when it comes to your active hobbies. It's Thursday as I'm filming this, and ordinarily this evening I'd be playing beach volleyball. However, I can't quite adopt the position I would need to bump, and diving around on the sand would be a little bit risky for the elbow, I think. So I'm not going to be able to play volleyball like I normally would. And is that a bummer? Yes. However, I also love running, and so I can just go on a sunset run along the beach, and that'll be great too. I can just very easily pivot to a plan B, which I also really enjoy. I think I'm also going to have to put my handstand practice on hold for a little bit. But instead, that'll leave me some more time to do some extra stretching. And if I focus on the pancake stretch, then that will actually benefit me in the long term in my handstand practice, because right now my mobility is a limiting factor in my handstand presses. So again, I instantly have a plan B, which I'm stoked about and I'm excited to, and will get me closer to my goals anyways. When you have built for yourself a lifestyle that is full of active hobbies, when injury strikes, you can just dial back the hobbies that are implicated and dial up the others that aren't. I honestly cannot overstate how valuable having multiple different activities and hobbies in my life is to my overall quality of life. It honestly makes everything better because it becomes effortless to deal with setbacks. The moment I experience a setback in one area of my life, I can just effortlessly pivot to put more energy towards other things on my priority list that I'm equally stoked about, but I just don't always have the time for. So let yourself fall in love with as many activities as possible so that you can have a rich life where you're not putting too much weight and importance on any one specific area that you might have to put on hold for a while. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this. I'll catch you in the next one, and let's get strong for life together. Peace.